was a book that started actually 10 years ago when I was at the Daily News in New York. And it started out as a financial literacy book. You know, I got sick and tired of the hip-hop generation talking about blinging and money and encouraging young people to buy clothes and jewelry as opposed to committing themselves to savings and things like that. So it started out as a financial book, hence the title, Stop Being Niggardly. For those of you who are hung up on the word, please open a dictionary. We get so caught up in words and things. We care more about the Housewives of Atlanta and what Tiger Woods is doing than we care about our kids reading, and then we care about our neighborhoods being clean and safe, and we care about the things that are important that we absolutely can control. I can't control who Tiger's sleeping with. I can't. But I can control what I'm doing, and so can you. So this book is really more about pulling yourselves up by your bootstraps, myself included, because I do talk about me in this book, but, you know, kind of optimistic look at how great life can be when we decide to make changes first with ourselves, because those changes reverberate to our communities and our neighborhoods, to society at large, and then we all can be happy. I like to call it a love letter, but it's really a manifesto on how you can improve your life. There's so many conferences and marches and studies and people talking about what's wrong with black people. Well, I don't want to hear what's wrong with black people. I want us to focus on what we can do to make things right, and it starts with the person in the mirror. I have a chapter called Stop Being Fat. Now, that's a very glib statement, but the reality is most of us are not obese because the FDA didn't put labels on the food. We're not obese because genetics. We know the truth. Most of us are obese because we don't know how to put down the fork, and we don't know how to make good choices about what we put in our mouths. That's not anybody outside of us. You can control being obese for the most part based on choices. I have a chapter on stop tearing down our heroes. We need to allow our heroes to be our heroes, which is why a great portion of my book is actually dedicated to one of my heroes, Nannie Helen Burroughs, who wrote a book 100 years ago called The 12 Things the Negro Must Do. And what I found fascinating about Nannie Helen Burroughs' book is that 100 years later, there's still the 12 things that Negroes still need to be doing. And so I pay tribute to Nannie Helen Burroughs in this book with commentary by reprinting her book as a reminder of where we've come from. We have so many examples of people doing things in a time when they shouldn't have, that there should be no excuses in 2010, 2015, 2020. And while I could point to racism and I can cry racism, at the end of the day, I can't depend on the government or my mother or anybody to fix what's wrong in my life. I need to start with myself. So this book is really about not having any excuses. So stop being niggardly with yourself, first and foremost, and go get my book.